So, let's talk about Rust. Tom Crust Bishop is a 61-year-old Southern biker and former president of the Sons of Anarchy Motor Club. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about the other Ron Perlman biker, Clay. Rust brought with him to Payday 2 a chain whip, a shotgun, a perk deck, and a heist with its own attached battle rifle and throwing axe. But how well do these things stick together as a build? Let's find out, begrudgingly. Let's start with Rust's gun, the Breaker 12 gauge. Based on the Winchester Model 1887 Mare's Leg shotgun, one of the original law enforcement shotguns, alongside being one of the most iconic of the stagecoach guns, the Breaker functions closest to a supercharged Moscone or a slightly anemic GSPS 12 gauge, boasting worse accuracy, a boon to the weapon, and stability, meh, and a slower firing speed than the Moscone, but with the largest magazine size of its damage tier tied to the GSPS at 7 shells. The Breaker, in an act of equivalent exchange, had to give up something for this magazine size, and it chose to cripple its own pickup rate. You can't get even one max pickup on the thing, even with walk-in closet completed in any perk deck. And while that does mean you will still get shells back, if you want to break more than even, you're going to need fully loaded aced or sharp-eyed. As a result, polykills and low accuracy are must-haves. A shark tooth nozzle or horizontal leveler, short barrel, laser in the stock, and we're good to go with this thing. Notice that the short barrel doesn't cut into the length of the magazine tube on the Breaker. I don't really have a point to make with that one. I'm just pointing that one out because usually if you take a short barrel, it also shortens the tube. My secondary is going to have to be the one from the biker heist, the CR-805B, based on the CZ-805 Bren, A1 assault rifle. Yeah, it's an assault rifle. Overkill cheated, but they're putting this weapon in the secondary slot, which I guess would... If it's in the secondary and the Breaker's in the primary, they've got to go together, right? Otherwise, why would they make them two different things? Why not just make them both primaries? The CR-805 is in the same damage tier as the Krinkov, the MP40, and the Jackal, and the Jackal, when compared to the CR-805, is outclassed in nearly every way, with worse accuracy, stability, and fire rate when unmodded. The difference, though, is the Jackal has plenty of mod offerings, and while the CR-805 can take a speed pull or quad stacked mag, there's not many other options. I've given mine a tactical compensator, LED combo, speed pull mag, and a sight. There's not much you can do to this thing, but let's give it the best we can give it. Biker is the perk deck of choice for this biker, and Biker works as follows. You have 4 slots that after anyone on your crew scores a kill, that former enemy fills one of those slots for 4 seconds. If a freshly deceased foe fills one of those slots, then the biker heals some health and armor, the amount of which depends on how low each one is. Before, the timer used to be 10 seconds, but you had 15 of these slots, which made Biker an actually amazing perk deck for snipers, if grays exist at the same time, or explosives. I actually ran this in my 2 different explosives build video, and I was able to fill up half my slots or more with a single stick of dynamite or grenade. It gives you a huge boost to your health or armor, which is really helpful in tense situations, and then you can bunker down and tank some shots to complete objectives while you wait for those kills to expire in your biker queue, and then you can head back out for more carnage, and it's a good cycle. The biker perk deck got changed in Reservoir Dogs to 4 slots in 4 seconds, and it was supposed to make it more reliable, but whether that improved or ruined the deck is pretty tough to call. Interesting to note, though, sentries and jokers can proc the regen, so, yeah, you have reason to grab Joker, I guess, other than the bonus health, which is kind of reason enough on its own. Rust's melee is the chain whip, and it's about as simple as a melee can get. You swing one end and hit people with the other. It's slow to swing, but it does damage on par with the katana or the fire axe, and the animation is quite nice. It's better than whatever Duke had to offer us, so... Our throwable is the throwing axe. It came with the biker heist, and as a result, we're using it because, hey, if Overkill didn't want us to pack the entire biker experience in one build, they wouldn't have made these things all part of the same theme pack, would they? Honestly, the throwing axes are probably the best of the non-explosive throwables. You pull them out quickly, their kills are silent, and they might not poison like the shuriken, but they're simple and effective what they do. They deal 1100 damage, and they can headshot. Not sure why they can headshot, but let's just roll with it. I'm bringing the light ballistic vest. As always, it's just such a simple but effective piece of kit. You can get it up to 91 armor or 130 in the console versions very easily. It doesn't hamper your movement speed all too much. It keeps dodge builds nice and tidy without too much finagling. It's a good Goldilocks bit of armor. If you have skull or bone armor, I would recommend applying that skin just to make the rust build that much rustier. Otherwise, do whatever. The skull armor is still like $1. I was gonna buy it for the joke. No, I don't want to spend $1 on that. And finally, we've come to our skills. My core skills in this build are Ace Joker, Partners in Crime, and Hostage Taker for some health regen to keep Biker's regen flowing all at once. Shotgun CQB, Impact, and Overkill Ace, not just to give the Breaker a hand, but also the CR-805. Ace Die Hard with Basic Bullseye and Iron Man to beef up the Light Ballistic Vest. Surefire Basic to help out the CR. Ace 9 Lives, Swan Song, and Bloodthirst round out this skill set just to help my reload speed and keep me off the ground. I wanted fully loaded Ace with this build too, but that costs 28 points, and paring down so much of this build for even more Enforcer skills just seems ridiculous. I'll give it a shot like this and come back with some results. So, having played a couple heists with this build, it's okay. I really didn't go down terribly often, which is nice. But yeah, the ammo starts to become a problem. Keep the CR-805 on single fire for the duration of the heist. It's pretty much a glorified pistol, sure, but it's better than running fresh out of ammo 30 seconds in. Turn on ammo contours and go after every pack you can. Bring an ammo bag if you think you need one, and if you want a fully loaded variant, you can do it. Though at the very least, you might need to take back Overkill Ace and maybe Iron Man Basic. If we were to break a character build rule and say take the Judge for a secondary, then you suddenly have a lot more points to work with. You take back the stuff in the Oppressor tree to get 7 points, 8 more for no longer needing Overkill Aced. You can keep investing in drills like I have with my variation, or you could drop those points into Medic for Doctor Bags, or work towards fully loaded. This build works best with 2 shotguns, and as much as I love the reload on the CR-805, it's such a cool animation, it's just not good enough with the ammo conservation to make its use justified, which is frustrating as ammo conservation is the Breaker's problem as well. You'll be reloading half full mags for quite a while in more intense missions, and I could see running completely out of ammo becoming a problem, especially given how slow the Chain Whip as a melee is, and the fact we really don't have any melee skills. And I don't want to have to cut my armor just to make the 2 guns pick up more bullets, especially considering how fully loaded doesn't even give the Breaker much return in its investment. 28 skill points to do that much just does not sit right with me. The Biker packs on their own added a lot of neat things to Payday 2. We got a nice assault rifle with China Puff Syndrome, we got a pretty cool shotgun, the Model 1887, and it's got the flip reload. We got a nice perk deck that keeps a player up when not in the fight, which is nice, and we got Ron Perlman. That's awesome. I freaking love Ron Perlman. You boot up a Fallout game, there he is. He greets you like an old friend. Unless it's Fallout 4. On paper, everything seems right with these packs. A build of them should be an open and shut case. Well, it definitely seems somewhere along the way things went wrong. The pickup rates for these guns were culled. Biker was reworked into a more generic regen deck. Ron proved too expensive to call back, and they really couldn't direct him. He just sounds bored saying his lines. These 2 packs can make a build, sure, but I'd hesitate to call it any good. It can handle mayhem, but not to the degree most other shotgun builds could. I could slap together a Frenzy, Yzma, GSPS, Anarchist build in like 60 seconds, and I would feel a lot better, a lot more confident in that. It works. Biker's build took a lot of careful consideration on my part just to squeeze every bit of viability out of both of these guns and this deck, and the end result is a passing grade. Not enough to excel into better classes, not enough to fail. The Biker's build is so far the worst I've played on character builds, though I doubt that'll be the case once I've blown through all the packs in this game. But here's the kicker. This build, at one point before the Ultimate Edition, cost $12 to run, 7 from the heist, 5 from the character. Sokol's build cost about $10 to run, and it honestly felt a lot more viable, even given the anemic magazine size of the Valkyria. The problem becomes with Sokol's build, sure, I had a tiny primary magazine, but I had tons of reserves. I never felt like I was running low on bullets. Running down to just a couple bullets or a couple shells left feels pathetic, like I'm not doing enough. I am, it's the pickup rates. I can't recommend the Biker character weapon packs as a build, but if someone showed up to my lobby running this, I wouldn't say, I can't say I'd kick them. For what it's worth, the Biker build does keep a player topped off health-wise, which at the very least makes my final verdict this. The Biker heist pack and character pack are at ends with each other. The end result of them merging together to make a build doesn't feel quite right, but it's more than usable on Mayhem, which, based on a poll by Connor Shaw some time ago, is generally considered to be the game's most balanced difficulty as it currently stands. If they ever came back and bumped up the pickup rates on either of these guns, this build should become a bit more useful, but for now, I'm going to leave it here and ride off into the sunset. I at least got to finish the Biker DLC-centric character build thing that I said I'd do. God, that was a long time ago, wasn't it? That was like when they came out with the H3 pack, which was before Christmas.
I'm sorry.
Hey! I'm so sorry that this video was not out on Monday or Tuesday. A lot of things happened all at once, and it was crazy. I had a really busy week. Hopefully this should put us back on track for Monday and Thursday uploads. Patreon and social media links are in the description.